welcome you to another episode of About You podcast. So wherever you are, if it's good morning for you, it's good evening. We want to thank you for your time. We thank you for always following us and sharing our show. This evening, we have two of our beautiful sisters, our mothers, here with us. And before I go any further, I know most people know me, but again, my name is Selvina Cole, and I have my co-host, Mediva Grant. I will have our two guests introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about themselves. So I'll start with Dr. Sumo Hubert. And I apologize if I butcher your name. Please introduce yourself and set me straight if I butcher your name, please.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Well, it's an African name, even though you didn't butcher it, but yes, it was mispronounced. My name is Somo Hubbard. Somo is a Gola many name, and in Gola it means honesty, and it also means I fought a good fight. Mina Somo. That's what it means. So,
Wonderful.
and I cherish that. Given to me by my dad because his beloved aunt was the one he named me after. Somo. So, enough of my name. Let me move forward. I am a Liberian, live in the state of Georgia. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, or Powder Springs, Georgia. I have been the president of the Liberian community or Liberian Association for 2 terms. I serve my people with grace, love, honesty, and understanding. I also went further and work with Eula doing the Kamara show, Kamara and Maneuver Grant administration. I serve as the Southern Regional Vice President for a term. And on the professional level, I am a registered nurse. I hold a doctorate of nursing practice, which is a DNP. I work with the state of Georgia, champion the issue of maternal mortality. Thank you for having me on your show. Oh, and I left something important. I'm also the president of the Bombing County Diaspora Association, which is very important and dear to me. So I wanted to just squeeze that in. Thank you for
Excellent.
allowing me on your show tonight.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for introducing yourself. That's a loaded interview. Thank you for all you do. Uh, Comfort, can you tell us a little bit about yourself too?
My name is Comfort Cole Kenna. I live in Columbus, Ohio. I was the former president of Liberians in Columbus Incorporated, and I did 2 terms. I also work for a social services organization, and I work with new Africans that are in the state of Ohio to listen to their needs and wants, and we can take that information and report it to state government. I'm married with 3 children. I believe in community work. I'm also a current board member of Liberians in Columbus Incorporated, LICI, and I'm part of the awesome Women of Columbus called Phenomenal Women. Thanks for having me on this show.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Maneuver, if you want to introduce yourself to the audience one more and then take over to you.
Well, thank you, Miss Cole. Thank you. Thank you. This is this place we can come and talk a lot of things. The last time we had a man on the fire seat, on the hot seat. And so today I am so happy that we get these 2 beautiful, hardworking women in the community with us. Today the show title is Liberian Women in Leadership in the Liberian Community. So I am Minerva Grant. I live in Minnesota, Fitly, Minnesota, not Brooklyn Park, because most of the time when you see live in Minnesota, I say Brooklyn Park. But Brooklyn Park is my home. Yeah, I've been in leadership and stay in community leadership. So I know why it is. But today is about them telling us, and then later I may, from my own experience and thing, I may get into it too to talk about my own experience in leadership. But I've worked with these two beautiful women in community leadership, so we decided to call them. Let us talk. Let us talk. It's an open mic. We're talking, and we hope that we get our women in the community that we listen and know the challenges, know the good thing about being in leadership too, and we will get more Liberian women involved in the community leadership. So I will stop there for now, and they finish. We have some questions. It's not much questions, but the way you may answer, we may come back with another questions. So we will start by I say, what make you want to serve your community? Why you decided to serve to be in leadership position in the community? We can start from comfort and then Dr. Small.
All right. For me, I've always participated and supported our local organization here. And for a while, I was pursued to take leadership position by several individuals. But the timing wasn't right for me because I had an ailing mother. So I put family first and decided, let me wait until I can commit my time and resources to this organization. But I believe strongly in community work. I believe in bettering our community. I feel like the United States is our home away from home. And all Liberians in the United States should feel comfortable in their different communities. And I think as we gather, you hear about the needs of the community. You hear about the vision that people want from the community. And I felt like, okay, I can serve and I can try to meet some of the needs, if not all the needs. And so I've served in other organizations in leadership roles before. And I think coming to my local community brought me to engage others, listen to their needs, and see how we can bring our community up and move our community forward. And that's what brought me to serving Liberians in Columbus. And I have been serving since. And I'm proud to say I live in Columbus and I'm proud of the people who we work with and work for.
Maneuver, you're on mute.
Thank you very much. I would like to another question there to ask, but I will go to Dr. Small first, and then we will come back again and ask. So Dr. Small, why you decided to serve your community, or what make you want to keep serving your community?
They say leaders are made and leaders are born. And when a leader is born, it comes from the heart, and that leader is very passionate about not only her community, but everything she does or he does. I heard my colleague Comfort speaking on, and you can tell from her voice how passionate she is about her community and the work that she does. When I was growing up, my community work started from back home, not only from here. People that know me very well from Liberia know that I started the leadership role at a very early age. When I came to America, initially I put it aside because I had to pursue my dreams, which was going back to school and advancing. And so going to school here and having no family member, but you have to work and support yourself and go to school is difficult. So you don't mix it up with a lot of other different things or social life. So I didn't have a social life at the time, but still at that time, I affiliated with the Liberian community members in the state of California, in California. Even though I was not as active as I was supposed to be, but I knew members there. I attended programs, I attended activity, a lot of activities pertaining to the Liberian community in California. When I moved to Georgia, my passion became very deep into serving the community. Because when something is embedded in you, there's no way you can hide it. There's no way you can bury it. And I love to serve my people. Liberians, and I look back, I was given help by the Liberian community before in the state of California. I was giving help in Liberia. So why can I give back? And helping my people is a pleasure. Even though we are, being in a leadership role is difficult. You have some challenges, but still, that cannot deter you. That cannot deter you from serving your people. Anywhere you go, even on a job, you will have challenges. But will you be quitting your jobs and keep going along? No. You have to look for a way to overcome the obstacles and continue to serve your people. And as long as I'm alive, I will continue to serve the Liberian people. If the opportunity is needed, I will serve them. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, you went into some of our questions, some of the answers. Trevor, you have questions to ask before we go through?
Sure. I heard, both ladies talk about, they love to help, and I see it, feel it as well. I love to serve. Just somebody listening may ask, tell us some of the ways that you serve, in your capacity, or you help people. So either one can start first, give it 2 or 3 ways that you helped your community or somebody in your giving role.
I can start because Comfort took the first, so it would just be fair enough if I go first too.
Go right.
let me go first. I shouldn't wait for them to call me. Some of my roles that I play, like back home, I've given back to not only my community but to Liberia, which a lot of people don't know. I've been back to Liberia. I've helped with medical work in Liberia. I have donated over $20,000 worth of medical supplies that I solicited on my own to hospitals in Liberia. During the Ebola, I was watching TV one day, kind of funny. We're watching TV and I saw all the different nationalities and people from different walks of life going to Liberia to, give their time. And I just sat there and I said, I'm going. And my husband and children looked at me like I was crazy. But deep down inside me, they could tell because they know when I'm serious and passionate about something, nobody can stop me. So I got up and I started doing some research. How can I go work to Liberia? And one of my colleagues, Jala Kennedy, he's in Philadelphia, Dr. Kennedy. When he heard that I was going to Liberia during the Ebola, and he reached out to me, he's like, wait a minute, do you have any organization that you're going with and stuff? And I said, no. I said, I'm going and I would just go to the health department and tell them I'm here. Our people are dying and I need to help. He said, no, wait for me. I'll help you. And he networked with the people back home through Phoebe Hospital. I was able to go to Phoebe, and another person at that time the president of the NIMA Association in the state of Georgia at the time, his name Dr. Duarte, he connected with somebody at the Cancer Methodist Hospital, and those two hospitals were able to accept me. I pay my own way. What they did for me was they lodged me, and they were able to like Phoebe Hospital gave me transportation if I wanted to go to town to eat or do other things. At that time I was doing my doctorate degree, and they gave me access to internet. So those were some of the things they helped me with. But everything else, like food and my transportation, was done by me from here to Liberia and back through the help of Dr. Duato and Dr. Kennedy, Jala Kennedy from Philadelphia. So those are some of the things I've done. I've done health fairs in our community. When I was president of the Liberian community, when the DED was in process, when we're trying to help Liberians to make sure they get their documents right, we had a workshop. We had pro bono lawyers that came in to talk. Some of them were pro bono, some were not. They were, they gave information out to Liberians, the Liberians that needed help, and just a lot of other things. And you asked about things that we have done in Liberia to help. I don't even want to go into that one because until now, some of us still got children on Cottington. We have put out graduates from Cottington, money that we spend from out of our own pocket, and then we still have students now on Cottington and in other schools that we are helping. So those are things that we have done. But the community here, the community knows me for my work. My work speaks for itself.
Okay.
They know what I've done. So those are just a part of what I have done, and I'm able to share tonight.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
your heart of service. Comfort, you're on
Mute.
mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I too, like Dr. Somo, during actually before I even became president, I was vice president for LICI under a different leadership. And under that leadership, we were able to send medical supplies to Liberia. During my administration, like she was saying, we had Ebola. So we were able to raise money and send it to Liberia to help those who were in Liberia for Ebola. We also partnered with another organization who was collecting Ebola funds and materials. And that didn't only go to just Liberians, but to other people in other countries who benefited from the Ebola. So I also was involved in a scholarship program in which we were able to get scholarship for deserving students under my leadership as well. When I say I'm passionate about health and also about meeting the needs, the social needs of our elderly. Now, I say this from experience because when my mother first came to the United States, I was so excited to get her here. And once she got here, I didn't want her to just sit in the house, right? I said, okay, we're going to register her to in a program that had elderly individuals. In this program, they would come, they would pick you up, they would take you shopping, they'll do all of the good things for the elderly. But when she went there the first time, she felt a little out of place. And therefore, she decided she did not want to do that anymore. Okay, so we had to start all over. So the question was, how do we try to bring social information or have our elderly gather and know each other, discuss, and get to be friends? So we, for the first time, had an elderly dinner so that the elderly can get out of the house, come, we served them, we provided everything for them, and they just come and have a good time. And we do this every year, except for during the Ebola years. We also went a step further by collecting goods and dropping it off during Ebola for the elderly because they couldn't come out. So elderly care was one of my passion, and also getting young people involved. We held our first beauty pageant in where we had young ladies come up and articulate to the public their needs and what they wanted to do with their life. This was a way to get other young people encouraged to say, okay, if she can do it, I can do it too. So these are just some of the things that we did. And most importantly, and the one I'm proud about, well, I'm proud about everything, but we organized the women in this community so that we can help each other. That is in terms of communication. We also um, send birthday shout outs. We did a lot of things. We have a group called the Phenomenal Women of Columbus. We help when someone passes away. We would get together and assist with the repast. So those things were I was very passionate about in having somewhere to meet. Last of all was having somewhere where so that we Liberians can meet and share ideas, have a building that our elderly can come. So these are some of the things I was involved with. As a leader, and I'm still involved in these things. I'm one of those who believe that once you leave office, you don't leave the organization. You come back
Yes.
and you continue to serve. We have a lot of leaders who, once their term is over, you don't hear from them anymore. I think it's
Yeah.
important that you stay involved. If you are
Yeah.
passionate about something, continue to be passionate about it. If you're
Yeah.
here for service, serve your people.
Yes.
That's my answer to your question.
Well, you're answering all our questions there, but we'll still bring the hard questions to you guys. So you keep asking, you don't I know,
We
okay?
jumping the
You
guns.
keep going,
But
you keep jumping the gun. So,
That's
but
okay.
because we look at the time, so we get questions for you,
I
and
have a quick
also,
I have a quick question when you're done.
go ahead.
The stream line, it says stream this to your audience. I've been clicking on it. Everybody texting me here and telling me they can't get the link. So
So if you click on it, it should be able to go. Is it not
I
moving?
did like 3 times. It keep coming back.
They
Stream
may
this to
get
your
to you
audience.
too.
Stream this to your audience. Add a destination. Okay.
Yeah, add a
Okay.
destination. So do your Facebook page.
Oh my
Okay.
God! Now you're telling me no.
No.
I can't. It's telling
Oh,
me to go to.
so
I
I'll
don't have
send
my
you.
Facebook on my. I don't have
All
it
right.
on
We
this
all
Okay.
computer.
live. We all
So
live.
I would
I will
just.
send. Yeah, I will drop it. Let me drop it in the chat here. It's on live on. It's live on YouTube. It's on my page. It's on Manira's page. It's on your page, right?
Yeah,
If
the
not,
YouTube page. Yeah, but can you
ye-
send it on my page so I can talk on it?
Yeah,
yes.
please do.
All right.
That's how I
I'll
can
drop
forward
Okay.
the
it. I will
messages.
drop it in the chat here, and
Okay.
then yeah, and I'll send it to you. I'll
All
send it.
right.
Okay. So over to you, Maniva.
Okay. So we hearing all the good things on the leader on we know you guys been doing. One of our questions that we know is a hot topic. How can women support each other in an organization? How can we support each other? And do we get the support from women? From some women, do we get that support, that encouragement? Do we get it? So, Comfort, we start from you.
You say, how can women support each other in an organization? I would
Yeah,
say,
and in leadership, like in the community, you want to get in leadership, or you already there? Do you get what your experience with women support? You know what? I
I would say in my community, I talked about the phenomenon women. We organized so that we can support each other. And even during our talk, we collaborate, we find people who are having events, other organizations that are having events, and we join them and celebrate them in these different things they're having, especially when there's a leader in that, because if we support you, you will reach your goals. whatever those goals are. So in Phenomenal Women, we try to support each other in those terms. In leadership roles, women who are leaders, we try to do something extra in terms of really getting our female counterparts to get in and get involved in those things that they find important. I'm telling you, it's not always easy to get women involved in everything or all aspects of leadership roles. But what you can do is don't stop trying. You have to engage them. You have to know their needs. You have to know the shortcomings, and you have to make suggestions that may help them get to where they need to get. And so we continue to work with everybody in terms of women in our community and in trying to see how we can best support each other. Everybody may not like each other. We may not agree with each other, but I tell you this, when it comes time when there's an urgent need, let's just say if someone passes away, we don't look at this, that, and the other. We come to you and say, how can we support you? What can we do? What do you need? Those are some of the things we do. And we hope that as a matter of fact, other organizations have also linked into that, the things that we have introduced. So we try to just support them in every way possible. Sometimes it's not possible. And if it's not possible, you need to communicate why it's not possible. But I think being focused on the needs and supporting each other brings other young people and other leaders to say, I can do this. And if I start this, I know my peers will help. The women in my community will be there. Thank you.
Dr. Small. So I mean, yeah, comfort, and I will come to the political side too. So Dr. Small, how can we support? How do you think women support us? I will talk about Liberian women. How do they support other Liberian women socially? Maybe I'll put the political part there. How do you get that support? Well, it's you why you in leadership, and some of the
Well, when it comes to social, and there's a difference with the social and the political. You see, one thing I know about our Liberian, not women alone, but just Liberians as a whole, when it comes to people in need, Liberians are quick to jump right in and help. All my life, I've been knowing Liberians for that, except that we in a strange land, and sometimes you find it a little difficult because of various reasons. But in my community, I've had support. And I'm going to take it on a personal level because for me, I'm a champion when it comes to healthcare and advocate for people when it comes to certain things. For some of you that don't know me, you don't know that I've been dealing with a family member that have been sick for 13 years. I never knows. And people laugh at me and say I make it look very easy. I was a caregiver, family, and myself, we were caregivers for like 10 years. In the last 3 years, I had to ask for help with the state. I need some help. I'm drowning. I'm drowning. I'm dying. I'm burnt out. I have a husband who has been sick for 13 years. He had a stroke when he was at the age of 47. And I have support. There were some times and I was connected with a political side because when my husband was sick and he recuperated at a point in time, there were some deficits, but when he had a stroke, he got paralyzed on one side. I worked with him. There was time I had to quit jobs. I had to, at that time, initially, I quit my job. One job, took family medical leave of absence, but in the hospital, 48 days in the hospital, did not leave the hospital, I was there. That's when I saw my community and church member pulling together, holding the fort for me. People were bringing in food. People were bringing in change of clothes. People were going to the extent of buying me lotion on the clothes, whatever I needed, because this man has never been sick before. All of a sudden, he just got sick, hospitalized. He's scared. He like, don't leave me. Don't leave me. And where was I going myself? I was scared. I'm young. He young. And just all of a sudden, our whole life changed. We had a 6-year-old daughter, a 14-year-old son. So tell me now, my parents were with me, so that was a blessing, but they couldn't drive. They didn't know the system. So that's when I saw food were coming to the hospital, people were changing shift, coming in and out. And I saw the love that was poured towards us. Not only within the Liberian community. Where I live, you would not believe. Love, that's when I knew that love sees no color. My white neighbors put together, they started preparing food for my children and my parents, cutting my grass, doing everything in my neighborhood pertaining to my home until we came from out of the hospital. Even when we came from out of the hospital, right around the Thanksgiving, one of the neighbors went and brought me Thanksgiving ham. The school that my daughter was in elementary, they called me and said they wanted to deliver food. And I said, no, we don't need it. Other people need it. Can you guys please give it to them? I'm not rejecting your food, but we don't need it at this time. When we need it, I will ask. I said, believe me. That's when I saw community rooting up for you. And as I'm saying it, the tears in my eyes, because I could not believe that people could get out of their way to do those kind of things for us. And I'm being personal because I'm grateful. When it comes to politics, that's when you hear in nursing, they say, nurses eat their young. That's exactly what happens when it comes to Liberian politics with women. They don't care. They will step on you to get anywhere they want to get. I have not seen too much of the support when it comes to politics among Liberian women. The people that you promoted will be the ones that will come and dig a hole for you to jump in. They will do anything to bring you down. If you allow them to, you got to be strong. I've experienced it. I've seen it, and people too have made comment that they think I have done it to them, which I don't realize I've done it to them. But I'm just being honest. When it comes to politics, don't depend on not even your mother. If she's a female, she will be selling you out in a minute.
So tell us, Tuma, I'm a bit confused there. So when you talk about politics, does that hold true to community leadership, or are we talking about politics as in Liberian government?
Talking about Liberian community, not Liberian government.
Okay, I got
I'm
confused.
talking about Liberian government. What I've experienced, not Liberian government, but Liberian politics. When it comes to our community politics.
Okay, community politics. Okay, yeah, I got thrown off a little bit. Okay, good.
No, I'm not speaking. No, I'm not speaking. I've never worked with the government there. I worked with public works when I was there, and with the Capitol building before I came to America. But that's not being in politics. I was not an elected official. No, I never dealt with any elected office to speak on that. So I'm not going to speak on that. I'm only speaking on what I know about, which is our Liberian community politics.
So what do you think are some of the reasons why people are not supported in that regard?
Well, one of the reasons I will say, and I always say, we have the notion of if it's not me, it shouldn't be you. Women tend to not support each other as a whole. Most women, not all, because they got some, women that support each other. But most of the time, the women that I've dealt with that don't support people are women that think, oh, if it's not them, it shouldn't be the other. And I've had conversations with some of them before. One of the women I spoke to, I said, we support other countries. If this person is from another country and it's a female, have an organization, we give it our 100%. But when it comes to Liberian women, a Liberian woman have an organization and bring in her people. After a couple of months, that Liberian woman don't know what she's doing. The undermining is too much with that Liberian person who have already established that organization. They even tried to take it from her. And I brought it up. I said, why is it that we don't support our own? The same question you're asking. I said, but if it's another person, like a Ghanaian or Nigerian or Cameroonian that have an organization and call on me, I'm using myself as an example. I will go and support that woman and do everything to promote that organization, promote her. But if it's my neighbor that calls me to come and support her, after a couple of months, I see all the fault in my neighbor. My neighbor don't know how to talk to people. My neighbor is bossy. She don't know how to run the organization. In fact, she's stealing money. I mean, everything negative would come out of my mouth for her. But if it's somebody else, there would be nothing that would come out of my mouth for her.
You know, I'm not moderating, but I want to ask one question. My neighbor, if you can allow me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I like solutions. I'm like my mind always go to problems then solutions. So what are some of the ways we can rewrite this negative energy, negative thing that's plaguing our community? Any ideas?
If the question is directed to me?
Stay on you. Yeah, stay on you.
Well, one of the things that I have seen and I know is to get to know people well. Don't judge me because I never told you that someone is a bad person. So you have formed that notion and you don't want to erase it. Let me just say, for example, what I've done. See, like my colleagues in the community, anybody that have, like the females that have graduated, most of them that have graduated with their degrees, their DNP, I reach out to them. You'll see on my Facebook page, I'm good at celebrating people's birthdays and their accomplishments. People know me. Even the kids in the community, high school graduates, I will celebrate with them. I reach out to them and I say, congratulations on your accomplishments. And I need to take you out. Let's go out. Let's hang out for, to dinner or something. I want to treat you. I'm glad that, you have accomplished XYZ. I've done it to over 2-3 people in the community. Women, just women now. And we'll go out. We have a good time. And they will be so, so happy. They're like, nobody have done this for me before. Thank you. Are you the first one that have done this for me? So we have created that bond. That bond is there. I show them that I'm not jealous. I'm not intimidated by your accomplishment. I am celebrating with you. And then they get to know me and I get to know them better. The other one, she was having her graduation party. She reached out to us and said, I want you guys to join me on stage. I want everybody to wear their regalia and walk with me on stage. And we did.
That's very nice.
We can never forget that moment. When I graduated, I never had a big party. My family was with me and friends. We went out, we ate to a restaurant in New Orleans where the ceremony was held and we came back. I never had anything else. But she had a big party and she invited us and we all were there. Man, we marched in. They called us one by one. Can you imagine how I felt? That was an upliftment by this woman to me. That was an upliftment. And do you know how they felt when I took them out to eat? And we were talking and laughing, we're taking pictures, and people started coming to our table. We were all dressed up in our caps and our hoods and stuff. We didn't wear the gown. We wore the gowns. We took pictures and we took it out. Then we ate, and people were coming when they saw us with our caps and hood, asking us questions. And they were very excited, telling us thank you, for our accomplishment, and it was good. And we said to ourselves, we will continue to do this again. This will not be the last time. This is supporting your sister. This is uplifting your sister. It's not only when something happens you go there, but just the little things, doing it together. It boosts each other morale and it motivates each other. I think we should get to know each other. I think we should learn to support each other by doing little things together. And then we will get to the bigger ones later.
Thank you for sharing. Maniva, yours, all yours. You're mute.
Yeah, Comfort, I know you've been listening to like the smoke. Do you want to add something? What your own experience on that? We know we look at the time, but we started late so we can add some more time. But yeah, do you want to add something on that?
For me, as talk about politics, I think once you're doing a certain job, once you're a leader, we need to realize that we're role models, and people look at us and want to be like us. And because they want to be like us, they sometimes kick against you as a person. I think it's really, really important, like she said, ask questions. And we have to realize we are women in this great United States. And we need to stick together. How can we make a difference? And not be so gullible that we let other people influence us against another leader without asking the questions. You all may have the same goal, but don't come and give you negative vibes on someone else and you just soak it in. Politics will be politics. People will downgrade you, and they downgrade you because of what you have accomplished. So what we need to do is to continue to discuss. Even in the discussions, they bring you down. I have worked whenever it has been, I've worked with her when she was in EULA, or she's still in EULA, I can't say was, but she was head of the social service organization.
Oh,
And I worked with her in that setting. But you have to realize there are biases as well, gender biases. And some women use the gender biases and get influenced by the gender biases, and they bring their own down.
Yeah.
Some people want your position and they can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They cannot accomplish what you have accomplished.
Yeah.
All they see is, okay, if she can do it, I can do it too. Instead of coming and asking the questions, how can I help? What can we do together? Because if we can do something together, you can come out and be a leader. You don't have to pour me down to go up. So those are some of the things we need to continue to be role models. Don't let other people define you. Do what you have to do, because if you're passionate about something, then you need to just continue to work on it. There are some things that you say, oh, wait a minute. I need to step back and allow other people to do what they think they know how to do.
That's true.
That's not removing yourself. You're removing yourself from all of the talk and say, you go in and you do what you need to do. Because guess what? I am who I am. I will accomplish what I need to accomplish because I have the talent, I have the support, and I don't need you to define me. I will do what I need to do because I'm passionate about it. And if my goal is service, I am going to get in that hole and be of service to those I need to be of service of. So I think our biggest thing is sometimes we're influenced by negative ideas. And we don't stop to ask the questions. It's like gossip. When somebody is gossiping and they come to me with some kind of gossip, my first question is, why are you telling me this? What is your motivation? You have to be able to realize what that motivation is. Is that motivation coming from a good place? Or is that motivation coming from you to pull me or me getting mad at that other person? So again, we just need to be positive in what we do. We need to be role models in what we do. We women need to stop being influenced by negative thoughts and ideas
For the
against
gender.
others. Because guess what? We're women. We can do this. And men know we can do this.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So there are biases.
And
They don't
yes.
think we can do it. We know men have some biases. But we can work with the men and support them in what they need to do. And I think when you can communicate well, that can go either way.
You know, I really wanted to leave this with you guys, but then you brought me in. I will make a disclaimer. These two beautiful ladies, I work with them. We were chairing a ULAD Social Service Committee. I was the director there, and both of them were my co-directors. And we had two other men working with us. So that's a disclaimer, but I know that they can work. And like you said, some of us, I hate to generalize things to say women, but some of us Liberian women, we get influenced by some of the weak Liberian men to bring down a strong woman. When they think this woman is very strong in leadership, they go through some of those women to bring you down, and you get people, you get them fighting you, like what both of you guys were saying. And I'll tell you, I've experienced it, and I'm still experiencing it. But one thing I know about the Liberian women, some of the Liberian women I know that strong, they don't let it get to them. Like me, once you know you're doing your work and you're doing it good, why should I worry about myself? Like you said, if I was chairperson for ULA Elections Commission for 2 terms, when they wanted me to go back, I'm like, no, somebody else can do it because I have done my work. I did successful election. Why should I continue? Because like that, I don't care. Somebody will be there to make you feel. I have reached where I want to reach. Even my own chapter here, Minnesota, they call me all the Emmett Hammer because I was the elections commission for I don't know how many times, almost 6 times. I'm like, you know what?
Wow.
No.
I'm
People
tired.
here can do it. I'm like, no, we get people here can do it. And though
Right.
I left it, but I stay in my community. People still come to me for advice, when it comes to elections and that thing. So I understand. And that gender bias, some of the men, because they get some men that will really support you. They get men that will really support you. But in our community, when Liberian women going higher, you get some of the men that really want, and even women, like you said, they want to be where you are instead of asking questions or maybe learn it from you and say, how you manage to get over there? What can I do? And you can get first. They get over and just say sometimes negative things about you. But I advise people, once you know what you're doing, and you know you're doing good, and you're able to admit if you do something wrong, you're able to admit it and communicate and say, hey, I'm sorry, that decision I made when I right or what I do when I right. You move on. That's what I've learned, and I'm still learning in the Liberian community. So I will stop there. But now,
Let me just
I
chime
leave
in for
it
just a minute.
for my
I like
co-host to ask the question.
the word that Comfort and use that gender
Somebody talking?
and
Like
Yes.
that's what you
Let
talking?
us know.
oh, Amira. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in for a
No,
minute.
your voice going in and out.
Oh, you can hear me good. You can hear me now.
Where you say to something, your voice is not okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's not that clear, like you in the
It's still
hole or
not clear.
something. Go ahead. We just was on
Yeah,
the
you.
phone. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I wanted to just chime in. I say I like the word that you use or the phrase
Hmm. Your microphone not doing great.
that you use, gender bias. Gender partially is related. People
Yep.
relate it to women more than I've seen to men. But we as women, we are our own problem. We create our own problem. And all the men and do, the men capitalize on that. Like for instance, when you are in a meeting with them and you making a strong
I don't
point
know
and you're
where
very
you are,
stern.
but you cut it off. You cut it off. You coming in and off.
I've not done anything different though.
Small.
Yeah,
You
I'm not
coming
talking.
in and
I
out.
just became quiet to see if y'all could hear me
Yeah,
better.
I can hear her. I can hear her clearly. She can keep going. Maybe,
Oh,
maybe
maybe
it's
not
from
from
your
me.
end. Yeah, maybe it's from your end.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear you?
Okay.
If are you
But what
okay?
I was saying, I said that the phrase that the men use on women when the women are very stern and in a meeting and they try to weaken you when you're trying to make a point, they will say, "Oh, you are very emotional. You're very emotional." That's their very big word to female to kind of weaken you. And one day I had to tell one of them, I said, "You yourself, you emotional. Why are you telling me I'm emotional?" I said, and in fact, this other person spoke. They were not, this male was not emotional. But now I'm speaking, I'm emotional because I'm speaking and I'm very stern about what I believe in. And I'm making a point that I stand by. So I'm emotional, right? And after the meeting, then he called me to tell me he was very sorry. But that's what they do. Just as Maneva said. The men try to break you down if you are a strong woman, and they're not going to break us. We might, you might retrieve and say, let me just sit down for a minute and put my thoughts together and just give it a year or so and come back. It don't mean that we have ran away or we're afraid of you. When we come back with vengeance. Just want
So
to
can
put that out there.
can
Thank
I
you.
Yeah, I
say
think that
can I
that's why.
can I just say
I think that
something?
that's why most Liberian women don't really participate in community political thing and activities because when you ask someone and you know they're strong, they be like, I don't know how you guys manage with these people, but I can make it. And you can
Because they
see
can
the
deal with the
leadership.
assault and the
Yeah, and you can
disrespect.
see the leadership
Mhm.
ability, and you can see that they will do good when they just get there. But because they just don't want to be like, I don't think I can make it. Yeah, go ahead, Comfort.
Okay, as we talk about gender biases, we have to realize that gender biases does not only happen in our local organizations. Gender biases happens
Oh,
everywhere, in your workplace, everywhere, because it's a myth that men does will do more than women, and women have to work twice as hard to prove that they can do it. I think what is really important when we talk about gender biases, so that it doesn't appear as men against women, I think it's open communication and dialogue. If we as women can show what we can do, more than likely men will join you. It's just that you have to work twice as hard to get to where you to communicate what you want. Because a man will come and say XYZ and people will just navigate to him and agree with him. But females have to work twice as hard. But I think once you show what you are all about, you will not, some people you just, that's just them. It will not change. But I think if you just continue to show and communicate what it is you need, what you have accomplished, what you will continue to do, some of our men will get around you, will come. The important thing, I think, as women, is you have to get a good support system. You need to get people around you who believe in you and who can also help communicate what your goals are. You have to get good men to buy into what you're trying to do. And when they buy into what you're trying to do, they can help you move because they can communicate and get other men to join them in following you, supporting you, and all of that. Again, we as women need to be independent of our thoughts so that we know that this is your goal. We need to support your goal. We won't get everybody. Some people, I don't care what you do, is not going to sway them one way or the other. You are who you are and continue to do service.
Awesome. I love what I'm hearing. Maneuver, are you there?
Yes, oh yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have one question still on the topic of men, these competitive in leadership role or in community leadership. So I'll start with you, Comfort. Have you had experience with men putting out some resistance on the community level, and how did you handle it?
I've had I've had experience with it. And I'll say this. How have I handled it? I try not to be engaged in back and forth because that does not help. You only create and you give them a platform to continue to bring you down. That's it. So I try not to engage them back and forth. What I can do is come to you and say, this is XYZ. Against where I've had this problem is when people have hidden agendas. And when they're hitting agendas, there's nothing you can do about it because you know what their agenda is. You can either fight, and you can. And when you fight, it can get dirty. But guess what? You have to believe in what you believe in. You have to let them know that this is what I can do. This is what I will do. This I will not do. Because once again, you cannot define me. People do all kinds of things to get you down. You have to realize, okay, and sometimes you have to call them out. And once you call them out, some men will back down. Others, if they have a hidden agenda, guess what? They're not backing down. They will do what they need to do. So how you handle it? Sometimes communications. Sometimes you call them out for what it is. And then you continue to do what you need to do and be you and work on the things that you need to work with and work with the people who will accept you and your ideas. Because sometimes their platform is not your platform. And you cannot continue to push your platform into some area that is not going to work.
Thank you. Dr. Tuma, I'm sure you have some thoughts on that.
Not much, because it's the same thing that we just adding on. What
Okay.
Comfort have said it all on that. So I don't think I have anything to add onto that.
Okay. Thank you. Maneuver?
So I know we look at the time, and we're so sorry we started late. So I hope you ladies will be willing to come back. At least now we know all the technical issue and how to fix it. So I hope you ladies will be willing to come back because we look at the time. So we will. Can we get maybe 2 questions into it, and then we wrap it up? That's something we can do, and then we can plan for another time. Because this is a hot topic. People need to listen. A lot of women. So we have a question here where okay, have you faced questions about family life during leadership journey? I think most of the questions are yeah. You guys answer it.
You
Well, from one
directly.
question, you're way
Mhm.
into it. So
I
what?
can come in with one.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead with one. I know I have
I always got questions. But some young lady may be listening, or some young women may be following. They're fired up by what they're hearing from you guys. So what can you say to young women who want to come into community leadership or just listening? Or what word of encouragement do you have for them?
Okay, I can take that question first. I will say, and I always like to use my personal experience. I have a 19-year-old daughter. She just turned 19. And if she's on, I would say, hi, Daybad. She's now at Howard University. I'm going for political science and branching to law. She has been in the community since she was little, like 6, 7. I took her to community meetings. Everybody in the community knows her very well. Very outspoken. She had introduced a lot of these leaders, including Alex Cummings when he was guest speaker. She introduces me when I'm speaking to organizations. But she told me one time that she didn't want to get involved. She and her brother have a son. And they said, oh, we don't like politics. After she was like in her teens, she's still in her teens, but I'm just saying maybe mid 13, 14. And her brother was, I don't like politics. Mommy, all into politics. I don't like this. I don't like that. So I sat them down. We're in the kitchen having, eating. I was cooking, we're just snacking on things. And I said, let me tell you something. Politics is everywhere, even in this home. When your father wants something done and I don't want it done, I try to influence his thoughts to, for him to follow mine. That's politics. And the same thing with you guys. But let me tell you what happened in politics. The bad people push for what they want. They fight for what they want. And guess what? The good people sit and say, me, I won't be battle. Me, I won't be battle. Guess what? The bad people go and win.
Mm-hmm.
And then they rule your life. Guess what? What you want to be done will not be done because they control everything that you want to do now. So what are you going to do? I said, so you fight. You fight to the end. If it don't happen for you, that's fine. But some other people will see your cause and they will join you later. It might not happen that year, but it will happen another time. And so my daughter has become a champion for little girl. As we were talking, some of the reason why when I tried logging in first, I couldn't, because she reached out to me from her campus. She wants to do something. She wants to be part of a mentoring program on her campus. And she wants that done. So she had to reach out to me to lead her, to give her guidance. So I had to make some quick calls, do some things with her before I could come back to check on this line. I just want to say, my daughter is an example. Just from me, she is following my footsteps and trying to join every organization that she can join to make sure that she makes this place a good place for other young women. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Comfort, I'm sure you have some thoughts on that.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Yes, I do. I'm like Dr. Sumo. When my kids were growing up, I made sure they participated in organizational work in terms of I took them, I made them pay their money for some project, and I took ideas from them. But what I'll say about young people is one, you need to find out what it is they want. Because our thought about what leaders or why they should participate is so much different from what they think. So I think you need to communicate with them in terms of finding out what they want. What do they want to see? And then encourage them to start small. Like you champion what it is you want to see. And as you champion what it is you want to see, the adults can support them in those things. Because guess what? If the idea comes from them, they have the support from the adults, they're successful in those things, they will start to get others involved. So, I remember going to a youth summit that our current director had, and people had different ideas. And we have to realize for young people and us, there are cultural differences, especially for those who grew up in the United States and those who came from Liberia. Because sometimes it's a disconnect. And if we as parents don't continue to push, show them what it is a good leader should be, tell about some of the cultural differences we have with one group or another, they won't know. And if we can identify the things that they need to see happen, we can then help them to come in, Start small. We support them. They can bring their friends. We say, okay, you want this to happen, you champion it. We will support you in it. Because a lot of times young people don't want to participate. So what we're going to do, we're just going to say, okay, do it. We'll be behind you 100%. And we need to listen. I think that is one of our biggest problems. We come from Liberia, we say, it got to happen this way. No, it doesn't. We have to listen. And when we listen, we need to be able to extract what they're saying to us and work with them in making things happen. That's what I would say to young people. Champion something. Bring your ideas. Let's see how we can submit. We can help you. Bring others to the table and let's see what can be done. My boys are in leadership positions all over. And it's because I force them to listen to what we have to say. You just have to listen and work with them to solve problems, because they'll come in and they'll tell you straight. When y'all go to so and so, all y'all do is so and so. We're not interested in that. What are you interested in? What would you like to see us do differently? And since you want to see us do differently, can you champion that? We will just step back and let you do it and see what a big difference that will make. I know we're short on time, so I'm stopping there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Maneuver, got something?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Ask the question, because I think I would like to answer that question too.
Oh, you like to? No, I know we can talk about everything else and not talk about our own selves. You know, how do you balance? You know, community service is burning. I mean, it's exhausting. It's tasking. I serve electoral commission, serve on the board, and all these different things. I know, you know, it's so much heavy lifting. So I can, you're talking about going 2 terms and 3 terms. I was like, ouch. Because 1 term alone, I was tired, you know. But so I mean, I just want to find out for you guys, what do you do to balance, you know, the family, your careers, yes, your own life. I mean, how do you balance it all? You know, and somebody want to get encouraged by that. So if you care, you can just share with us.
I'll start off. I think in order to get into community work, you really need the support of your family first. When you join in, when you get in, you and your significant other, your husband, your children, you need to tell them exactly what you want to do, what your intentions are, what impact you want to make. You explain all of that to them. And then you need to be able to work around some of their schedules. Because if you have little ones, it's important for you to be there for certain things. So you need to be able to work around their schedule so that you are not stressed out about community work. You know, you can balance it by communicating, by working out schedules, by letting them know what your desires are, and asking them to assist you in meeting your goals. Because I tell you, when families know you're passionate about something, they support you. They really do. They want to see mom, whatever that goal is, they want to see mom reach her goals. They'll even come to you. They'll be listening to your calls and they'll say, Mom, that stuff you're talking, guess what? I have an idea. And they'll bring forth their idea. So I think it's really important to get your family involved, you know, let them know your intentions, and try to work around. Look, community work does not pay you. It's all free work. You get free work and you get free talk. Talk from people, back talk, good talk, all of that. But so what you do is you focus on you and your goals and the goals that you bring forth for the community. You get your kids and your significant other behind you. I mean, I'm like Dr. Sumo. My husband was the photographer for the community. Everywhere he went, he had a camera. He took pictures for free for some of our events. because he was in support of the things that I wanted to do. When I hit a glitch, I'll come to him and he'll give me the support. Even now, when I hit a glitch, my kids give me the support. What you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to forsake them for the community. That is really important. When it's their time, it's their time. So schedule yourself so you can have their time. That is really important. That's how I say you balance it.
Brother Timo, how do you balance it all? She's on mute.
No, you know the computer went off and came back on. So
Oh, really?
so you were asking me?
How do you balance it all? Community life,
Oh,
career. Give us.
well, just as Comfort said, you have to have the support of your family, your friends, loved ones. And for me, I didn't have like an agenda or schedule that I had to put down or jog down things. But I knew when my community meeting was. I knew when I had other things to do and family time. It's just something that I balance out. It just play out. With the support of my family, it kind of play out. But one thing I wanted to say, I wanted to chime in when Comfort was talking about the young people and how to ask them what they want to do. We as adults of the Liberian community need to put ourselves in check. When we go to these meetings, instead of having meetings for 2 hours, or if we say an hour 30 minutes, we will argue and argue and argue until 4 hours. And these young people don't like that kind of behavior. Most of them will say, oh, we're going back again so we can go listen to you guys arguing. Oh, I don't want to be part of that argument. I'm not going. Because I know a lot of time my children, we have our meetings. We used to have our meetings on Sundays. And I would take my parents, take my children. And when we go, the argument start for hours. We there. We from church straight to the meeting. And we there for hours arguing over something that could have been resolved in 10 minutes.
That's
so we
right.
need to re-examine our communities, our community meetings, our leadership style, and the people that attend the meetings should also be considerate of the young people that are coming into the meeting. That's all I wanted to squeeze in. Thank you.
That's excellent. Maniva, I know you got something because you serve a lot too.
No, I hope my mic all right because I don't know what's going on and I'm not sitting there. And everything comes from a small set. That's the fact, especially with the young children. When we have to encourage our young children to participate in community activities. And how do we encourage them? Looking at all the time when we go to meeting, talking about things that they will benefit from, listening to them. Because these children bring good ideas. But oh, what are you talking about? Well, with me personally, as a single mom coming out of my children, and one thing I think when I got into the leadership, into the politics in the community, my children got to know that something I really, really love. So my son was my driver. He stayed my driver. And both of them said, this is a volunteer thing. We spend our own money to go places, especially when you're in leadership. You spend your money to travel, to engage the community. And it's not an easy thing. And I know my son used to tell me, say, when I say, oh, I travel in the plane, he'll be like, Mom, I hope you pay for the cable before you go in, because I want to make sure they get it. I want to take that cable money and say, oh, I bought ticket to go to other meetings. Take your offers before you go to your political thing. But with that, I listen to them, and when I go out there, I hear people telling me what they say about me, in the community, and I feel so proud. Like my son will call my mom, is the community leader. Don't you want to know anything? Just call my mom. My son, my daughter, all her friends that know me to be the community man. They won't hear anything. So I tell me now, how can we do this? And tell me now, okay, and I feel proud, I think they know I'm doing these things, but at the end of the day, when they go out there, they really say those things for me. And because I love my community, I love to do for my community. it's not an easy thing to balance your career. Some of us doing 2 full-time jobs. We were going to school, and I never went to school part-time. Yeah, I went to school full-time to get my bachelor and my master. I was doing full-time. You know, it's not an easy thing. You come from work, you go to school. From school, you got to take care of the kids. You got to make sure they finish eating dinner. Then you sleep on the bed. I so used to sleep on my bed now. I like lay on one side, then my computer, my book, everything right on the bed with me. I close my eye 3 o'clock, I get up again, start working, and that's it stay like that, you know. So it's something, and you just have to have the passion for it. If you don't have the passion for working in your community, you won't do a good job. And don't worry about people criticizing you. Don't worry about people saying, "Oh, look how that all she want to do." Just do it because you love it. I don't know. I
Yeah,
tell you,
yeah.
you say anything you want to say. Once I feel I'm helping someone, I'm helping my community. I mean, I have the money to be there every time to pay for my present, just being there. And I tell Pastor, I get 3 organizations beside my church, beside paying my tithe and my and whatever thing I need to pay to my church. I have 3 organizations that I pay due to. The Loma Association in Minnesota, I pay my due there at my community. The Lofa Association, ONM, the Organization of Liberian in Minnesota. Because when I pay my due to ONM, ONM in turn pay their due to ULA. And ULA overall, and I participate in ULA. I said those are the 3 organizations that I actively participate in. In Minnesota, we get about 20 women organizations. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I participate when they have a meet, when they have a program, I go there, do my own contribution when I'm invited, but I don't think I have $60, $60 every year to pay dues with other places. You know, and it's a good thing for the other people that are doing it. I love it. They're doing great things. And that some of the organization, like I told somebody, I said, I think I will stop coming, paying money to enter. At the end of the year, we really don't know what you guys doing. And with me, that's me. I love to see results. You know, at the end of the year, that's not what you're doing. There's so many things that we can do with all the money we sit here. Like the Lofa County Federation, we have money in the account. And you know, Lofa County Police say they already cheap, they let us sit down in the money. And I was wondering the price here, and with other people, we like, no, we gotta get the money out. Lofa need our help. We need to do something. And we went, I think about 6 years ago, we had this conference and we put it in a resolution that whatever money we get, the university that the government gave us, let us try and build it up. Let's turn it from a community college to a university. So that's our goal. Every year we send money till it get finished. We say we'll do that. You know, so yeah, it just, you know, it's a thing. But when you love it and your passion, you will do it. Don't really have any regret. And don't feel bad. Let the people talk. Once you do what you have to do, right? Do it. Talk. Let them talk.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we want to thank our guests for sharing some of the time with us. We know time is your time is it's very valuable, and we don't take that for granted. We ask that you come on another time. If you have an event coming up or anything you'd like to come and use the platform just to promote it, feel free. The platform is open. We love to promote all things Liberia, community, just the good things. And I know that tomorrow you have a program coming in October. So if we left out anything, please put in, either one of you can put in your closing comments. Closing remarks, and then we can just call it a night. And thank you so much.
Dr. Suma, what you have coming out in October?
All right. I want to say thank you for this platform. One thing I want to say to the Liberian people when they say youth, we're talking about actually from maybe 17, 18 to 30 to join our organization. If you know you're over 30, you're not youth. When you come to don't say, oh, the young man, you're not young. Okay, I just want that to be clear out there, because most of the people in their 40s still consider themselves to be youth. If you over 30, you're not youth anymore. I'm just putting it out there. please, because most of you that are leaders of the communities that are in your 39, 40, 35, you're not youth. You're an adult. Behave like one. Okay, back to my thing. Palm County Diaspora Association is going to be hosting their convention. This is going to be a virtual convention. This is the first time we are trying it, and we know we're going to succeed. So we are asking all our friends and family to please come out and support us. It's going to be on Zoom. We need your support. We have projects in Bami that we need to execute, and we need to come out. We need to call our friends and families to come out and support us. October 27th, Sunday, October 27th. It starts at 4:30 p.m. And I'm going to be reaching out to one of you ladies. I'm going to do any, mini, money, more. And whoever I pick, you will be one of our speakers because they gave me
That'll be my neighbor.
my organization gave me the authority to pick. So I'm going to do any, mini, money, more and pick somebody to be the speaker and one of our speakers for that day. And please come on, even if you are not picked this term around, please come on. We still have in-person conventions that will be held year after year, and we'll be asking some of you to partake in person. But this is going to be virtual. Minerva is one of the speakers, so I can't ask her again. So it's between two of you.
Ready.
Let me just put a disclaimer out there. Minerva is one. So I hear both of you saying, Minerva, she's already won. So she can be one again. So I have to reach out to one of you. And I'm asking you to please support this one because it's Bami County Diaspora Association. October 27th at 4:30 p.m. virtual. Thank you. Oh, and also for you guys, thank you for the invite. It was great. And this discussion, I would love to come back again and talk more about it.
You can't talk about it. We have it every month. Every month we bring new topics. So we'll make a mind. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I again ditto what Dr. Sumo said. I would like to say thank you for inviting us and allowing us an opportunity to speak our views on different topics. And I want to say one thing. Liberians in Columbus, we're LICI. We would like the support of you all and anybody that you know. We, very unlike a lot of Liberian associations, we are venturing on having our own community center. We have worked hard, we've raised the money, and we've bought a piece of land. Our goal is to erect a community center. This is what I see when we talk about Liberian associations in overall Liberian association, talking about EULA. I think it's important if all of us support one group instead of us going all over renting and giving all of these our money to others. We can each support each group and have our community center. The community center is not a hall per se. It's a center that provides services. We are doing that now in a space. Yes. We're trying to do that in a space now, and we're making some impacts. If we have our own community center, we can make greater impact. So if we reach out to you, we ask you to reach out to your friends and help support us erect our own community center so that we can help our elderly because they have somewhere to go. We can have tutoring classes for our young people. We have somewhere to meet, and there's so much that we can do together. So I'm just putting it out there what our goals are here in Columbus. And as a community leader, I'm letting you all know that's our goal. I'm in other organizations, but I will call you for the other organization. But I would really like for you to see our vision, participate in our vision.
See, I like the networking right here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely coming back because we got to do separate shows. Separate show with Dr. Sumo to talk about her program and separate show to talk about your project.
You know, I can bring some of my. I will bring some of my leaders to talk
Bring
about
all of them.
Yeah,
we
bring
got
it.
space for everybody.
Yeah, to support us. And we even have a school association that will beg you to support too. So you support me, I support you, and that's how we
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it.
I love it. I love it.
All right, before we go, I wanna invite you guys. You know, this year, Lofa County celebrated 60 years of being a county. You know, 1960 they had the Eastern Province, the Western, and then Tottenham turned it into counties. So this year, Lofa, Bomb, I think Grand Chile, Lima, they celebrating, but we celebrated our 60th anniversary for being a county, and we are coming in the great city of Columbus. Yes.
When is that?
October 5th. To the first weekend in October. Come eat all the top. We can even create toboggan. Flowers or anything you can think of. We have it there.
That's another show, man.
I know.
Tell me, that's another show.
Come and celebrate Lofa. Please, I invite you guys. Come and celebrate Lofa. We are. I'm the chairperson for the planning committee. So we are inviting you guys. Come, let's celebrate Lofa. It's going to be a whole day thing. And in the night, we have this big party. Yeah. I'm going to put it in the Palawan hut and everything. Please come and celebrate Lofa County. Yeah.
Well, you need to bring your team and so we can do a separate show too. 3 shows already.
I will bring my team on. Maybe we'll talk about that. Yeah. Okay.
But good night, ladies. I know the night is passing. We all got to work. So
thank you. We can log off now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, then.